Hi guys and welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Today is roofing and landscaping. From this coastal colonial style house that we've got here, I can really tell that we've got some landscaping things that need to kind of be looked at and into. Looks like we've got a resort behind us. If you are not looking at the floor plan, it's in the description below, so I wanted to update you on that, and it's also in the description of the last video as well. So if you are building with us from start to finish, you can go back to the last video and watch that. But today is just roofing. I wanted to showcase that for you guys. So here we go. Looks like from here, right in this area, we'll have to put in the like a half gabled roof and put it to attach it to the gabled roof that's going to be here. So I'll show you how you do that. But first, let's start with landscaping, because landscaping for me is super important and needed, especially in every single home that I build. So I always start from the top down, and I'm going to show you how it looks from the beginning to finish. So we've done our floor plans already, which is magnificent. We did it. We're good. Our floor plan is done as we're going to go through it. So like I said, there'll be two parts to the interior. The downstairs and the upstairs are each going to be a part of their build as well. But since this is the first floor, if we go down any lower, you'll see the basement. So we got to stay here. Though it's raised on a foundation, you can still use it. This part is not raised on a foundation, so we don't have to worry about that. From what I can see is there's a ton of grass over kind of off to the side. And I'm going to kind of center this lot just a little bit because I really want to achieve kind of the simplistic style of everything. So we're going to do it like right here. And this is going to drop. This middle one is going to drop, I think, since we moved it again. No, it didn't. Wonderful. It's because we had things actually attached to it and we weren't moving it fully. So we did it. So we're going to take our terrain tools, and this is also a lesson in of itself. So basically, I'm just going to line up the style that I like. So I like the slate style. I like a ton of this is a very coastal home, so we have some gravel going up to it. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about it first. It's 2 minutes. We haven't even started. That's funny. So I'm just going to kind of follow the curvature of what it looks like. And it looks like it just kind of goes like this. And so I'm just following that curvature. As you can see, it thinned out a little here. That's fine. And it just is kind of looking uneven, which is kind of what we want. And I'm never going to get it as close to the floor plan as possible. So if you ever see my mouse going over to here, I'm trying to look at the other thing, and I brought my mouse with me. But looks like over here as well is where we've got our little thing right here. So it kind of like goes out till around here. You can't see it from the floor plan, but it just kind of comes back into this like shape right here. And so it just kind of is a big, huge thing. But we're not going to do that. That's something that you got to have a discretionary tail on, because I think that it should come from here down and kind of create that. Then we'll fill it in. But around here is like landscaping. And so just things like that is kind of where I'm looking. And I'm always thinking about that. I'm always thinking about the inside of things and the other side point of view of it. So what can this look like up to a point? So I'm going to leave this part kind of open a little bit because I want to do some foliage out here as well. So I'm going to do it in front of the stairs, and I'm also going to do it behind the stairs as well. So from up top, you can see below the foliage. That's what I'm trying to achieve here. I'm trying to make it look coastal, but I'm also trying to make it look amazing as well. I thought about building this in Solani, but it just doesn't have that, Hawaiian feel to it, that it wasn't the right path for me to take. So I chose this smaller square. It's a 1 square. I'll show you it here. It's a 1 square thing. That one is a 2 square diameter. This one is a 1 square diameter, just so you know. This one is one of those small little squares, the inner square. that's one of those diameters. See, from here, this is a 2.5 square diameter, basically. It's 2.5 squares, basically, in diameter. This one is about 5 or 6. I want to say 5, 4.5, 4.5 square diameter. And this one is about 7.5 square diameter. So they all range in sizes. This one is a 5 by 5 one, which I love. So we're not going to use that one. We're going to use this little circular brush, and I'll show you why in just a sec. So we're going to take this Smarter Than soil, or Smarter Starter soil. Try and say that 3 times fast. Right in here, we're just going to kind of wisp through. Make it look uneven. In here, we're just going to wisp through as well, but this is going to be a little bit more controlled. And we're just trying to make it look like we've actually planned out this flower bed. We're going to line it with kind of our, we're going to line it with our stuff as well. We're going to line it with our boulders and rocks and stuff. So right like that, we did it. So now what we're going to do is figure out what we want to put in front of this. So whether that be a bush, we're always thinking ahead to the flowers. So, or the trees that you want in here. And I don't have move objects on. So again, do pb.moveObjects. And you don't have to do on if you want to, you can, but it'll say that move objects cheat is on. So this can go anywhere whatsoever. And I want to put this palm tree right there. I am silently in my mind planning, okay, this is where this palm tree is going to go. I am just going to be putting in different things over here. I can see a palm tree in the picture, so I want to achieve that. So I'm going to be putting out 2 different types of palm trees, or 3 even, that I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to use. And you can use some from the Washington palm or stuff that you see just from here. And so, like I said, this is your discretion. This is what you want to build. This is how you want to build it as well, just using a tutorial based on how you build it. If you don't want help with landscaping, skip this video. I probably should have said that at the way beginning. But this is not, if you need help with roofing, stay or just kind of move over to where roofing is. I'll put that in the description below, where roofing starts and where roofing kind of ends, and then where landscaping ends as well. So, yeah. This right here is super important right here to figure out the flower arrangements. Do we want small regular flowers, or do we want like these assorted wildflowers? I would use these and kind of just move them all over the place. But I'm going to use some grass in there as well. Just some mossy type grasses and bushes as well. I want just small, little, tasteful things, making it look coastal while adding in some blues and lavenders that not a lot of people know about. In this, I love these pink azalea flowers. I just kind of sprinkle them in throughout wherever I can, basically. And I'm going to go for this lavender blue type color. And when the sun hits it in the morning or in the evening, I'll show you. Or in the afternoon, I think. They are a nice hue of just this beautiful, luscious purple. I do love these blue hydrangea flowers too. I kind of sprinkle them in throughout as well. And I kind of try and make it so that these flowers peep through, but also we can see that lavender as well. I'm going to also put this little lavender bush in here as well, just sprinkling in some lavender as I go into the places that look kind of dwindled. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another thing of flowers, whether that be these pink azalea ones, and I'm just going to kind of put them sprinkled in the middle. I get asked a lot about how I keep my flowers in my hand at all times. I hold shift down. So when I just click on it, it's gone. But if I click on it, hold shift and click, I still have another. See, I still have another. So just a fun little hack for you there. So that's that side. We're trying to achieve the coastal look and make it look luscious. This from far away looks kind of cool and looks different. On this side, we want to try and recreate that, but also with different flowers, trying to make it look like it has a different type of species in the actual flower. So fun little things like that. But I'm just going to be sprinkling in these rocks a little bit just to make it look like we did this like on our like the person that built this really took the time and care into putting this in, and they want, it not to get, harmed, or they want it to look like it took a while, and it totally did take a while, because we're just trying to figure it out. Now what I want to do is I want to figure out this part. I'm going to work from left to right. I'm going to work like I'm reading. Okay, so like I said, I am not the one-stop shop for it all, but I am trying to help show you just the different things. If you feel like you found someone way better at this, go for it. Go use theirs, because I am not going to be the first person to tell you if what you're doing is right. This right here is my hack. I'm going to take a bush, and in between the bushes, and when did I said bush really weird. In between the bushes, I'm going to hold down shift, and I'm going to put these pink these lavender plants right in the middle. They will stick through. I'm going to then take this right here. I'm going to sprinkle it in just ever so slightly throughout, and then watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this bush, and I'm going to stick it right in there. The lavender will peek right out, kind of, maybe, right here. You can also, if you really are looking for a nice little piece to use, this bush kind of adds in the flowers at the same time. But I like the hedge because I can fill it in with what I like. Also, I get asked a lot about using the succulent. If I do like using it, I do. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put it like this in my builds in between, just kind of sprinkled throughout the succulent, and I make it my border. So I just try and go through and make it my border. There we go. And then I take this bush, whatever bush I was using, and I just stick it in there. And what I can do sometimes is do this, and then I will do that in there as well. So there you go. That's your little tutorial. See, it looks luscious, and now you can't see the lavender peeking through, but you can as you walk down the stairs. Let me show you. As you walk down the stairs, you'll be able to see it as you walk down the stairs. So that's just a little thing for me. As I turn and watch my people walk to work, I like seeing that. Now, I get asked a lot about this little area right here. Why do I have it like that? It looks terrible. You're right, it does. There's a simple hack for that. You just zoom out. I'm going to move this tree out of the way. I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to take the color of this type of terrain paint. I'm going to size it down to this. I'm going to go 2 clicks away from the below. And as I'm going, I'm just sprinkling it in throughout, making it look like it was here for a while. And as you just go through, you'll see it start to look different. It'll start to take on a new shape, and it'll look way better than what it did before. And in some parts, you want it to be darker, because that just makes it look like it's been here a while. That makes it look like the coastalness is coming in directly to you. So as you go through, you just are adding in this little bit of, color to it. You're trying to trim up everything that you took away, and you're just trying to make it look a little bit better. These trees will not stay, so that's why I'm not moving them, but they'll move in just a sec. But when we figure out what trees we're actually going to use, but first we need the planter beds and do this. So this is just super fun and cool. So this right here, my favorite by far, trying to recreate what was over here. How I do that is I take this, I shift click on it, I alt it back to where it needs to be or whatever, and then I click, and then I've still got it. So then I just bring it on over, and I go from the top down, I alt it, and I shift it. So that I'm just kind of creating some sprinklings of it throughout, just wanting it to look kind of different, but also still having what I need. So now I've got this little bush, and I'm going to try and make it look, perfect. I'm going to put this bush in there as well, but I'm going to recolor it because I'm just going to use the R on it. So we're using that purple color. And then we're going to use these pink azalea flowers right here. And we're just going to E it. And then we got it right here. And then instead of just using them as borders and fillers, I'm actually going to do that throughout. Instead of just using it as kind of the front point, I'm going to use it in here as well to kind of fill up the spaces that I've missed. And that'll also make it look a lot more full. So you're just adding in extra stuff. You can use stuff from the debug menu if you don't want to spend extra money. Right now, it is at 30,000 with the landscaping and all the walls. So just letting you know there what you've got. So this right here is what we've got so far. Now we need to take these rocks, and since I used multiple different ones, I'm just going to go back and use them. But I'm going to use this one here. I'm just going to kind of take and alternate a little bit, but I'm just pushing in a little bit. I'm just going to take this right here. I'm just trying to figure out where I want these rocks to go and the placement that I had over here. Because I want it to kind of look like I used the same rocks, but I also did a different placing of it. All Sims is just trying to figure out the rhythm to everything. And once you figured out the rhythm, you've got it. So now I figured it out. I could line this entire thing with bricks. I'm not going to. But I just wanted to kind of show you the path to take. Now it's your turn. I just noticed this little patch right here, which I'm going to totally redo. So I'm going to take the small square. We've got this gravel right here. I'm just going to fill it in just a little bit. There we go. Now it looks like we've planned it, and it looks awesome. So cool. As you can see, these little succulent plants sticking out. Amazing. I love that so much. Now we need to figure out what palm tree looks good off in this distance. So we've already got one of these. So it's not a long stemmed one, so it's a pretty short stemmed one. So it's probably this one that would look the best. And I just feel like if we did it like that, that would look perfect. And then this could be off to the side over here, and this could be over here as well, just blending in with it. I see off in the distance a ton of kind of palm trees, but I feel like this one's the best. So that's landscaping. Landscaping was pretty minuscule in this, and so I'll do the next one where it's pretty heavily and it's a smaller style build where I'm actually using garden and actual terrain tools. But now let's go on up to roofing because that will take the longest. This will be a pretty long video, just so you're fair warned. So this right here looks like we are going to create the roof to be a part of it. So what I do is I like to start with it on the blank canvas. So I start up here, even though I'm going to put it down there. I'm going to move it right in here. There we go. Because then I rotate it the way I want it. I put it down to how many I want it. I want it too wide. And I'm going to scooch it back just a little bit. So I'm going to take this little thing right here and I'm just going to scooch it back. Then I'm going to move it to this spot right down here. Right here. And you'll see what I am going to do in just a sec. So when you're going up, it'll clip in. But I'm going to like bring it out more. You'll see what I am gonna do in just a second, I promise you. But like you'll see it, I'll bring it up like this into the actual build. Okay. But what I also want to do is I want to bring it out a little bit too. So I want to bring it out right like that, and then I want to bring it over. The reason why is because this whole thing right here is a part of it. And so we got to figure it out, you know? So right here, we're just going to bring it all the way across. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Oh my gosh, we're holding... Okay. Oh, I grabbed the wrong thing. I was like, what in the heck? There we go. So then, since that's covered, we need to bring it down, of course. And then we're going to go up, and we're going to put this gabled roof on. Now, the gabled roof, we got to figure out how we're going to make it so that it looks relatively good. And, so yeah. So just hang in with me here, just real quick. So this is just going to go like this. As you can see, we somehow need to bring this down, but still get this up. So, how do you do that, you ask? Well, it's pretty simple. You bring this eave down. You can keep bringing it down if you'd like. You can do it that way. It's two different ways you can do it. You can also take this and raise it up so it meets this. It'll be right after you can see it. It'll blend in. Okay? That's the first tool that you can do. Now, what you could do is you could take this, shift, and move this to be like a really tall wall. You can move this to be a tall wall. All of the top is going to be tall now. You can do it that way, or you can do a medium wall. Just it's going to be a little bit different. All the walls connecting to that have to be the same. So it doesn't matter if you are going up to a medium. It doesn't matter if you're going up to a large. You just have to have the same thing. But this is so easy for you. And this is your tool to use if you need it. Okay? So you can do it like this. And this is one of my favorite hacks ever. Because you create something that is something. And it looks amazing. So try that first. Now, right now they're not exactly the same because we just need to do this. There. Now it's a part of it. It looks like it's a part of it, doesn't it? It's doing great. So we're actually going to scooch this back just a little bit because we have to actually make room for some other stuff. And there's another roof that'll have to go right there, so bear with us. But as we go down just a little bit, you'll actually see that this does not connect right. So that's where you have to bring the eave up. So you'll shift it and you'll bring this eave up. But then you'll bring this kind of roof up. And you'll actually see it kind of clip right there. I don't know if you can see it. But right here is the actual roof from this part, and this is the other roof. So you'll be able to cover that up and actually, make it look like you actually tried to do that. But that's kind of how I do it. Then I go here and I just basically place the roofs that I know I will have the easiest time putting into the actual thing. And I just try and make them blend in. Then I go like this, and I just go like that out. And it blends in perfectly. And then I go down here, or I go on over here, and I just put that there. Scooch it in. Scooch it in. There we go. Looks perfect. So that's really all I got for you for that part. Now this part is going to be a little bit harder because we're going to have to do two different types of roofs here. You're going to take a half-hipped roof or a half-hipped, and you're going to take it like this. You're going to turn it to where it's facing you. You're going to bring it across to this wall right here and through. Or you're going to bring it to this wall. Then we're going to take the other half-hipped roof. We're going to place it on the floor here. We're going to bring it a 2, and we'll be able to extend it if need be. But we'll bring it a 2. Now we'll bring it up, and we're actually just going to merge it with this right here. And the way that you'll do that is you'll bring it like this into this room right here, but it won't clip into the room, you see. Right there, no clipping into the room. But we just need to make it look like a hipped roof. So these two are two pieces. Right here is going to be your harder part because you've got this little indent and you somehow need to be able to fix that. And that is where your thing will come in handy. That's where your informational thing right here, your floor plan will come into handy with your roofs and the back of the house. So I've gotten off so I can see it. But the way that it looks is that there's a gabled roof in the back, and there's also a gabled roof in there's like a gable roof off to the side and a gable roof off to the side and some type of roof in the middle, which kind of makes it hard. But it is what it is. So this is where my expertise of the whole building process does not really commence well. So I'm going to place this in, and I'm going to just do a gabled roof, or a half-hipped roof, back to here. Because it'll actually look kind of okay. Next, what we can do is we can create a deck. So I'm always trying to think, can I reuse this roof a little bit? Yes? Okay. So then I'm going to take this and I'm going to extend it out the two that I needed it to. And then what I'm going to do is see how it overhangs because this part is that. I dumbed out, okay? So that was my fault. I'm just going to use a regular hipped roof, okay? So this hipped roof will actually go into the half hipped, and it'll look okay. I promise you that. Because we'll round it out. Then I want to create a deck, but I want only half of it to be used as covered. So there's that. Next, I'm going to bring this forward all the way till the end, guys. All the way to the end. Don't be skittish with what you're putting in there. Let me just say that right there is your masterpiece. Okay? You gotta make it look so that it's kind of together, but kind of not together. So it's kind of cohesive, kind of not cohesive. Because this is a coastal home, so you're trying to figure out what can you do on a budget. But then this one's actually the harder one because it'll require 3 roofs. It'll require this right here, and it'll require a piece in the middle to connect the two. Well, that's only 2. So, okay. But you'll do a 2, take 2, and you'll bring it forward. Just so it connects the 2. And it'll look like it's the connector piece for this. The way you'll do that is you'll put it out toward the edge. Just with the same thing. So it actually looks like it's connecting. Or what you can even do is take it a step further and actually go into the house with it. That way it actually looks like it's being used. Okay, so there you go. That's what it looks like right now. And I like that. Okay, so we're going to use that. The next part of it. Oh, good Lord Almighty. This roof we're going to delete. Hopefully I haven't done anything. Okay, perfect. Now it's pretty hard to do these types of roofs. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the 2. That's why I said roofing probably wouldn't take us forever. But I wanted to combine it with something because if it didn't take us forever, I wanted to be able to be like, oh, it did take us forever. Whoops. So I'm putting this 2x1 here. That's actually just going to go straight up. Then I'm going to duplicate that, go here. Okay? Duplicate that right here. Okay? Duplicate this and put it right here. Move forward. See what I did there? And this will converge in the middle. So we'll move it like that. So it actually meets and looks good. And then that will clip in, but it'll be okay. So see that? That looks really cool. Now, let's say we move it up, or not like that. Definitely not like that, everybody. Definitely not like that. Control Z. We move it up. Arch it. We're going to make it huge. I don't think you can really do that. Well, yeah, maybe. But that does that to the eave. So you shift and you just pull. Now these roofs are so hard. I know that they are. But it's going to look good in the long run, even if I have to do it myself in the beginning or in the end. But right here, that's when we're actually going to take what was right here and we're going to actually put it there. So we're going to take this little roof right here. We're going to put it atop this right here and try and figure out what the heck we want to do. So this right here looks perfect. Perfect. It's attached to the wall, but it's not going to be that way forever. Okay. So for some reason, I'm just going to box this in again. So I'm going to take my B tool. I'm just going to, I think for some reason it doesn't think that it's a room. Sims likes to do that a little bit. Think that something's not a room. Oh yeah, it doesn't. See? Oh my goodness. Whew. Just gotta hold your breath. 1. And now see, you'll start to get the 4, the 8, the 16, the 20, the 24. And, well, now you need to create a room. So now that we're creating this room, you'll see what I need to do. Are we going one in? Where are we? Go here. There we go. There. Now that's going to be a room. Now see, watch. I will replace this with fencing. And then the roof did not clip in. So that's kind of what you got to do. You just got to really watch and see if that's what you're doing. If that's what you're doing is creating that area. Oh. So if it's not a wall, it clips in. Well, here's what we'll do then. Because that's what happened the last time, I think. Okay, so you got to double click on these walls and replace with a fence. But that makes it so that... Oh, that ticks me off. Well, then we'll make it a wall. And you'll see above, but you won't see. Because if you do it with a full wall, it makes this a room. Why don't we just make this a bedroom? We don't have to worry about it. We'll put flooring in here too. I don't know if we can do that, can you? Can you? I'll do this. We'll do the room tool yet again. As you can see, this is going to be a very long video. But there we go. I just want flooring in this room right here. I just want flooring. Are you gonna have flooring here? Guess not. It'll just be an empty. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Okay. This has never happened to me before. Oh my goodness. Okay. So then this, you'll shift down in to here. Right there. Then you'll arch this up just a little bit. There. And then you'll arch it up just once more. Well, don't ease this up, I guess. Maybe keep it like that. There we go. Because then if you come on up, it'll still go through. Let's try and arch it up like this so that you don't see it. There we go. Because I think that's what happens. There we go. Well, you'll still see a little bit of it. But it's not that bad. And you can totally cover it up. Totally fine. But we got the rest of the roofing done except for these little twin things right here. So this right here, I'll just duplicate and flip. There we go. Duplicate that. And then basically you just duplicate that. Put that right there. Perfect. Now we're done with roofing and we can kind of create the roof pattern that we want. So for the roof pattern for this, it's a dark black. And so for weathered type looks, I like to use these and use these black ones. They're really nice. Or I use this one. It's really dark as well. You can use these ones, but they look more brown. The one that looks the most black to me, which I love, is the, I think it's this one, the farm shingles, maybe? Can't remember if it's the farm shingles or if it's the happy hunts. If it's these ones that are like the same that we just used, but just in black. These ones make or break it for me. And so this is a very nice style home, so I want to keep it nice looking. So as you'll see, everything will just kind of start to change a little bit. But now we need to take these weathered looks and put them on the roof. So we're done with that. We'll go on over to this gabled roof right here. Put it on this. We'll have to put it on all these dormers. Dormer. Then right here, we'll just bring it like this and go. If you hit this while you're down, you can see like you've done it. You can see the roofing. You can see under the roofing. And that's about it for roofing. So let me show you the kind of outside look of it. It looks really cool, doesn't it? And if you really want, you can grab these windows, hold Alt-9, let me show you. Hold Alt-9 and raise them up. You can raise them up into the roof, and you just click. And you take this, raise up to 9, and then you click. And that just really helps whatever you need to do. Or if you just hit 9 with any cheats available, it goes up. You don't even need to click Alt-9. These are still medium windows, I think. Or these are still medium height. Yeah, they are. We can make them small. Because I don't know if that'll change the way that they're placed since they're on Alt. Yeah. See, they don't show. So almost you need to do a medium height. And that'll be okay. But you even can put it up to that. So there we go. There you have it, folks. You've got it. So now we're going to go through and in the next part do video of doing your downstairs interior. We are going to be doing windows in that one as well for you so that you can get a little tip or two on that. And if you're really trying to figure some things out, that's kind of what you'll be looking for. But I hope you guys enjoyed this part. This is definitely one of my favorite parts to do, is the roofing and landscaping, but I also really, really, really like the interior style stuff. So if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them down below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about roofing. If you have any tips about roofing, or if you just struggle with roofing in general. I'll also put in the link card right here. If you missed the last part, you can definitely go and check that out. But yes, I hope you all have an amazing Wednesday. We will be back with our regular schedule scheduled programming in 2 weeks, with Monday being our regular style, just me building a speed build, Wednesday being a EA revamp, and Friday being our Let's Play with our 2 favorite people in the world, Callie and Brooklyn. And so I thought about also starting another Let's Play here, sprinkled in just every so often to get a change up of stories, but that would also still be on Friday. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this part. I enjoyed it as immensely as I could, especially with the roofing problems that we have and still have. But I'm super excited to get started and do all this with you guys. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next part. Bye, guys.